we are doing something that I have never done before. I have never annotated a book before, other than like school, and I think that I'm ready. I have tabbed a book before. So for example, I tabbed all of the Blood and Ash books. I had a very simple tabbing method and I didn't write anything in the books. I literally just used 3 tabs for this series. So I had yellow was favorite quotes, pink was romance, and purple was smut. That was it. That's all I have done so far, but I really want to try out like actual annotating with like writing things and highlighting. So let's start with the book that I have chosen to annotate. I am going to be going with All Rhodes Lead Here by Mariana Zapata. This is an age gap romance. We are following a girl who moves back to her small town, and we have a single father slash her landlord. I don't really know where it goes from there. This is quite a chunky romance book though, so I am intrigued. I have heard good things about it. I have seen a couple of other people annotate it, so it seems like it's gonna have a lot to actually like annotate. So we're gonna see. We're gonna give it a shot. It's also a paperback, so I won't feel that bad if I completely ruin it and have to buy another one. This will be attempt number 1. As far as annotating supplies, I tried really hard not to be that person that like goes out and buys a whole bunch of things for a new hobby that I might not even like. Did buy new tabs because 1, I was running out, and 2, I only had these colors and I wanted to match the tabs to the cover because why not? Starting off, I got tabs. These came in a big pack for like less than $10. I already had this set of Inkjoy pens in like every color imaginable. They're just gel pens from Papermate. And then for highlighters, I have 2 kinds of highlighters. I have these mild liners also in like a million colors. I also had these highlighters, so I just have like some pastel highlighters, and then I have these that I got off Amazon because they were a little bit more muted shades. I haven't really decided if I'm going to like completely color code every single thing. I don't know yet. We're gonna see. Let's prep the book for annotating. I think I have settled on colors. We have like this light grayish greenish color, and then this dark grayish greenish color, this goldish color. I felt like kind of matched the bench a little bit. The gray matches her beanie, and then this reddish color I'm kind of pulling out of her shirt right here. It's like a little accent color. I want to see if I can match pens and highlighters and things and just kind of see how I'm feeling. I do have a dark green pen, so that could go with that. I also have a gold pen, which goes with this one pretty easily. And I have a dark red pen. And I also have a gray pen. So far this has not been difficult. The light color might be a tiny bit more difficult. I feel like this is fairly close, probably as close as I'm going to get. And that's okay. Now for highlighters. I know that this one is darker when you actually use it, so I think that'll be good for the red because it actually is pretty close when you actually like swatch it. I do have a gray highlighter, so that's pretty easy. This one I feel like is pretty dark. I don't have anything darker, so I think we will match this up with that one. And then I do have this, I think is like a lightish. That one can go with that. So now I need something goldish. So I guess we'll go with that. And then I also obviously have a black pen. Don't know if I'm going to use all of this or not. I'm gonna show y'all what I do for prepping a paperback before I read it because I do not break the spine. That horrifies me. What I do is take the book, flip it up like this, take the front cover and the back cover and press them down. And then you just take like a few pages at a time from both sides and press it down. And what it's going to do is it's going to prevent this part from bending. You're just essentially training the book to keep that spine flat while you open it. You don't want to do too many pages at once or the spine will start to bend. I'm going to speed this part up. You can see that it gets thicker now that we've done that, but it does keep the spine flat. And now I can just like flip it open and you can see the spine barely bends at all, even though I'm like holding it flat. No broken spine. Now I need to create a key. I think we'll do that here. And I need to kind of decide categories, but I think I'm gonna just put these on in the order that I put them on the cover. Categories. I wrote them down. Okay, so I do have categories and I actually ended up adding a category, so I need to add another tab. So I think I'm gonna go with this color because it kind of matches her skin tone. I do have a highlighter that matches pretty dang closely. I don't have a pen that matches. This is as close as I can get. I know this looks bright yellow, but it's actually got kind of an orangey tint to it. So it's a little bit darker than this, but it has kind of the same tones. So we're just gonna roll with that. Now I just need to decide which color is going to be which thing. So this is my little test swatch thing, and I also wrote down the categories. Remember is gonna be like plot stuff. That's what I decided at the last minute. Like anything that's like foreshadowing or just things that I want to remember or think I might want to remember later in the book. And then we have sad things, funny things, favorite quotes, romance, and smut. Wow, look how crooked that is. We're going to fix this. Significantly better. I do feel like this one is crooked though. Let me fix that. That's better. I also do not have the prettiest handwriting in the world, so this is going to be really interesting, honestly. It felt really weird to write in a book. Okay, I don't know that this is my favorite pen to write in a book with. Not gonna lie, I don't know that I liked that all that much. I feel like it wasn't as smooth as I was hoping. The book is prepped. The book is ready to annotate. I am excited. I am a little nervous. I will let y'all know how it goes. Pages in, and I have thoughts both on the book and on annotating in general. Let's talk about it. As far as the book itself goes, I am loving this. If you want a grumpy sunshine romance, this is perfect. Sarcastic, grumpy man, like I am all for it. I am loving it. I get so frustrated with him, but in like the best way. I love our main character. I think she's so much fun. She is so adorable. I love her personality, and I love their personalities together. I'm loving it. I'm really liking the slow burn aspect. I think it's going to make the payoff so worth it. I also really like how many different plot lines we have going on here. Like we have a lot of character development happening. We have a lot of different backgrounds, a lot of tragedy, honestly, that's all coming together into this really nice development and like three-dimensional aspect of our main character. As far as annotating, I have a lot of thoughts. First thought is that I think this is something that takes practice. I learned very quickly that I didn't like the categories I chose, and I'm kind of sticking to it for the most part because I wrote it in pen, so I'm not gonna switch it up. I think the next time I annotate something, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I did end up kind of fixing a couple of things. I added one category. This book is about a single father, so he has a teenage son who is a major character in the book, and I really like him as a character, and there were so many like moments with the teenage son that I was enjoying that I wanted to annotate, and I didn't have a category for that, so I added a category essentially specifically for that one character, which I'm glad I did because it's actually been one of my most used tabs now. I also changed the gray one that was just sad. I haven't written it yet, but I changed it to anything that's like sad or makes me angry. So far I do kind of wish the remember one, like the plot one, I don't like how I did that. I think there are a lot of better ways that I could have done that. Not entirely positive what that looks like yet, but I do think that I will be changing that category for the next book. I do think that I'm liking it. It's definitely slowing down my reading, which is not necessarily a bad thing. This book is really easy to binge read. Can't do that because I have to stop and like highlight things. I think that's a good thing. I think I'm actually enjoying it more now that I've forced myself to kind of slow down with it. As far as the actual annotations, I have learned some practical tips. These highlighters are too dark for the most part. Most of them. This one's actually not too bad, but the other mile liners are, most of them are too dark and some of them bleed through the page, and that bothers me. So I probably won't use these again. I'll probably get more of these. These are more of like a pastel color, so they are a lot lighter, and I've just been liking these better. I also learned that I don't like it completely 100% color coded. So for instance, on this page, I highlighted things in red, I underlined things in red, and then I also did like my writing in red. It was too color coded. So what I started doing was I would like highlight in the color and then I would just write in black. Those are my thoughts so far. I'm gonna keep going because I'm really enjoying this. Let's go. finished it. And first of all, this book is everything. This book was so good. If you want a slow burn romance, this is the slowest burn romance I have ever read in my life, and I wanted to throw something for like almost 500 pages, but it was so worth it. So worth it. It was so good. I don't even know what to say. I loved this book. I loved the romance, but more than that, I loved the non-romance parts of this book. Like, this is a long book. It is almost 600 pages. There are so many other aspects to this book, so many other relationships, so much character development in our main character that it doesn't feel like a 600-page book. Like, it doesn't feel that long. So let's talk annotating. I learned a lot throughout this process, like a lot. And I really want to do this again, honestly. Like, I really liked the process. It definitely slowed down my reading a lot, and I kind of enjoyed that. And I do think that annotating is something that's going to take practice. I wasn't writing much. I was highlighting things, like I was definitely highlighting and underlining like quotes that I liked and scenes that I liked, but I found that I didn't always have something to say. And one, I think that's okay. I don't think you always have to write something, but two, I think that's just going to take practice, because I did notice that I started writing more the longer I did it. The further I got, I started writing more. One, because I had more to say, more was happening, but also because I was thinking more. Like, I was teaching myself how to think about what I was reading a little bit more and how to like put those thoughts into words. This book is not actually all that spicy. I don't know why I thought it was going to be spicier than it was, but it's very much not. Spice tab really was very underutilized. Not that it wasn't used at all, but it was underutilized. That's almost something I wish I had known going in, because I probably would have chosen a different color for that, because the color I chose for that was a color that I really wanted to be like a main color in my tabbing, and it didn't end up being. It's fine. I think having the highlighters and the colored pens and all of that, I think that's too much. I like the tabs, and I like having the tabs match the color, or match the cover. And I like writing in black pen, that's what I've kind of learned. And when I have all of those colored pens, I kept accidentally writing in the colored pen instead of the black pen, and I didn't like that. But I like the way it looks when I've written in black more. I just feel like it's cleaner. And I mean, there are some pages that like I wrote more and like did a lot of highlighting, and then there are some tabs that I really didn't like write much for. Like, sometimes I literally just like highlighted a quote that I liked, and I didn't really have anything to say about it. It was just something that I liked. I just think that this is something that's gonna take practice. I don't have pretty handwriting. I can't draw. I can't really even doodle all that well. I drew a couple little hearts and stuff in here, but that's about as far as my doodling goes. So I'm never going to be one of those annotators that has like all of the doodles on the side and all of that, because I just can't do that. Like, I can't. I'm never gonna be one of those people that like fills up the entire book with annotations. Maybe if it was a shorter book, there were a lot of things that I kind of wanted to tab, but I was running out of tabs, especially the romance tab. Like this one, I only have one left, and there were a few things that I kind of wanted to tab, but I was afraid I was gonna run out, so I didn't. I'm not really sure how I would fix that, other than there are a few things that I feel like I put under the romance section that could have been different. Like, I think I need a category for like tension more so than smut. Sometimes that tension doesn't always lead to smut, so I feel like I want a category for that. Or I could just make like tension / smut one category. I might actually go back and do that for this book, just so I can get some more of that color in there, and because those are all things that I wanted to tab but then didn't have a color to do it and wasn't sure how to make that work. That is my experience with annotating a book for the first time. I'm gonna give y'all like a little flip through. So that's the first book I annotated. It was definitely, like, flipping through it, it doesn't look like a lot. And it's really not. Like, there were definitely, like, entire chapters where I didn't annotate anything. But I kind of like it. I like how, like, this doesn't feel overwhelming to me. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this as a first attempt, and I definitely want to do it again. If you want to see more of my annotating journey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and the little bell icon will notify you when I post. This is definitely something that I want to do again in the future. Let me know if you have a book suggestion for something that I should tab, or if you have any tips for me if you are someone that does, like, actual annotating in books. Let me know how you do it, or some things that you think I should change. Let me know down in the comments, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye!